Here's the breathing. Hey guys, the breathing pattern you see me using on the exercises, it's a method I developed for myself. It's called double compression breathing. The first thing you need to know about that, I'm going to teach you how to do it, but you don't need to do it when you are learning or doing the program, okay? I've been doing those exercises for a long time, and that's just how I breathe on them. But right now, you should be using a kettlebell that is light enough that you can breathe any way you want and you'd be fine, even if you made a little mistake or you lost your balance or something with that kettlebell. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate with just a simpler exercise like a curl, some push-ups, maybe a press or squat. And I'll just demonstrate to you the principle behind that breathing, and then you can apply it to any exercise that you want to. All right, so we'll start with a curl, since that's a pretty basic single joint movement. Curl starts with a concentric, ends with an eccentric, all right? So here's what the double compression breathing looks like when applied to an exercise like this. What I'm doing is I'm taking a deep breath, letting it expand my body. As soon as I initiate the lift, I'm gonna hiss a little of this breath out. I'm gonna continue to lift, but I'm gonna stop everything. I'm not gonna breathe in, I'm not gonna breathe out until around here. Then I'm gonna take a second breath. I'm gonna use the expansion of that breath to help me finish the lift. And at the top, I'm full of air. I'm gonna go. Here's what it looks like for real. All right, so that's an exercise that starts with a concentric, ends with an eccentric. The push-up starts with an eccentric, ends with a concentric, but the cadence is the same. Overhead press starts with a concentric, ends with an eccentric. And finally, the squat starts with an eccentric, ends with a concentric. All right, so the reason why I do that is it keeps me expanded and full of air as well as oxygen. The constant expansion helps my form, also helps my safety, because when I'm fully open and expanded in my body, all the slack in my spinal muscles, my core muscles, everywhere, they're all taken out to their limit. So as soon as I exert against them, they respond, or the joint moves without having to take up any slack. It also ensures, when I'm fully, constantly expanded, that I am symmetrically placed. When I'm filled up all the way, if I was a little slouched or a little bent, just like when you blow up one of those long party balloons, it'll straighten itself out. That's what this breath does for me. In doing so, it also provides me with more oxygen. Because of the way I like to lift, I need to be able to lift in a way. One of the things about going slowly, on a lift is it gives me time, or it gives my body time to figure out a way how to spread the stress of whatever it is I'm doing over as large and sensible a surface area as is possible. And if I'm fully oxygenated as well as fully expanded, the pneumatic assistance of having that pressure in my body also helps me maintain core stability and therefore good form, okay? The cadence of matching the range of motion or matching the range of motion of an exercise to this breathing cadence also neurologically ensures that I'm not just performing rote repetitions, each one is a little different from the other one. When I apply the breathing cadence to the range of motion of a push-up, instead of just going, and then this one's, and this one's, if I am only obsessed with building my movement around the breathing, so I'm focused on the exercise being an excuse for me to practice that breathing, not the other way around. I'm not using the breathing to improve my push-up. I'm using the push-up to strengthen my breathing, my ability to take in breaths, full breaths, and control them even while I'm physically under load and possibly under duress, okay? Aside from that, last thing. This breathing cadence, or the double compression breathing, also helps, or acts as a governor switch or a stop loss, meaning at my age and where I am with my body, I don't train to failure on any given set. I don't do 1 RM maxes anymore, and I also don't do long distance running or long duration jump rope like I used to. But when I'm lifting, if I'm using double compression breathing, or I'm using a breathing pattern on what I'm doing, when I can no longer maintain the cadence of that breathing, that is usually my indicator to stop. And it usually is several reps before I would normally stop based on muscular or other physical indicators, okay? So there's a lot of good things to it, but like I said, breathe the way you like to breathe right now until you get real skilled with whatever you're doing, and then you can start playing around with this, all right? It's just breathing twice. Okay, aloha.